Hey gang, I'm Dr. Eddie Horton, and in this video we're going to talk a little bit about Virtualbox. We're going to talk about what you can do with Virtualbox and why it's something great for you to download and play around with. Virtualbox is a virtual system, and what that means is it's going to allow you to install an operating system inside of the operating system on your computer. By being able to do that, you've got somewhat of a sandbox that you can go in and play around with. And as you're learning different things about an operating system, when you change things inside of the virtual system, you're not actually affecting anything on your computer. One of the things that I have lots of students do with Virtualbox, for example, is install Ubuntu or Kali Linux and play around with it. I'm a firm believer in the way that you learn these other operating systems is just by installing them and playing with them. And again, the beauty of it being sandboxed, if you're playing with Kali and you run a command that completely hoses the virtual system, it does nothing to your computer. In fact, you can create a snapshot before you do something, try the command, and if it completely messes up, you can revert back to that snapshot you made, and it's as if nothing ever happened. The other great thing about Virtualbox is that it's completely free. So if you're going to use it to install something like Kali or Ubuntu, there's zero cost at all involved in playing around with it. So first thing, let's go and download Virtualbox. I'm doing all this on a fresh machine, so I'm going to use Edge just because it's built in. It's going to pop up and ask me all these questions about Edge, wanting me to sign in and things like that. I'm not going to sync any of my data, and I'm not giving Microsoft anything. Now, just for my own preferences, I prefer dark, but you know, this is all up to you. So if we just go up here and type Virtualbox, it should be one of the first ones that comes up, and there it is. Virtualbox is made by a company called Oracle. It is a free version. Now, there is a paid version called VMware, and they're both very similar in what they do. They're called hypervisors. And there's two types of hypervisors just for you to be aware of, a type 1 and a type 2. A type 1 hypervisor is a bare metal hypervisor. What we mean by that is the hypervisor itself is the operating system. What we're going to work with is a type 2. It's going to run on top of an operating system. So you're going to install this on top of your machine, be it a Windows or an OS X machine. We'll click on this link for Virtualbox, and we'll download it. Now here you see we have it for Windows host or for Mac OS Intel. And you'll notice now there's a preview for the M1 and M2 chips. I'm very glad to see that. I think that will go into production soon. So if you've got a newer Mac, you're welcome to try that, see how it works out for you. I'm going to get the one for Windows hosts. Here it's going to download. Then we're also going to grab this Virtualbox extension pack. And notice it doesn't matter what system it's for. So now go to wherever your download is. Since I've not changed anything, mine are just in downloads. I'll double click it, and you install this just like you install any other operating system or any other program. It's going to give us some messages. We're going to start it up. I use all of the default settings. Here is a warning that you need to be aware of. If you are doing something on the network in the background, because this installs virtual networking, you are going to lose connectivity for just a second. So for example, like I'm streaming this right now to a local file. If I were streaming this up to a server, I would lose connectivity when I do this. In fact, it's funny, I have to, when I do this as a live demonstration in the lab that I'm normally in at my university, I connect to my display wirelessly. So I have to tell them, hey, when you see this for a second, it's going to blip out because your network's going to drop for 15, 20 seconds. So we're going to go ahead with it. I am missing a core dependency. It's okay, it will get it later. That core dependency is Python, so if you've already got Python on your system, you don't have to worry about it. So that's it. We'll hit finish, and now we've actually got VirtualBox installed. But now before we do anything, the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and install the extension pack. And you'll notice that extension pack changed to an icon from the little document symbol because now it is associated with the VirtualBox program. So I'll double click it. It'll ask me if I want to install it. You've got to go all the way down to the bottom. Basically, the reason that this is two pieces of software, VirtualBox itself is completely open source, but the extensions are not. The extensions are closed source by Oracle. They allow anyone to use them, but they do not give the source code for those. They don't allow you to go in and dissect those. So once you get to the bottom and hit I agree, it will go ahead and install those extension packs. And the reason we want those extension packs, they contain some things like special video drivers and network drivers and things that you may or may not do but are good features for you to have if you're really going to work with VirtualBox very much. One of the features that I like the absolute most that they allow is shared folders. So with that extension installed, you can drag and drop files from your computer into your virtual machine if you need to work with them. Alright gang, that is a quick rundown of just how to install VirtualBox. In the next couple of videos, we'll look at doing some things with it, installing some basic operating systems, and I'll show you some of the features like snapshots and things. Alright everybody, have a good one.